If Republicans kill Obamacare, what will Trump care, as it's already being called, look like exactly? Jonah Goldberg, senior editor of the National Review and a Fox News contributor. Jonah, good morning. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning, Martha.
So what do you think it will look like?
No one really knows.
Yeah.
You know, it's really a hot mess. Part of the problem is that most of Obamacare was not actually passed in reconciliation, and so you actually need to get past a filibuster to get rid of all of the regulations, and they can't quite do that yet. And so they're left in the situation where it's sort of like you've got a bad horse pulling your cart called Obamacare, but the only place you can get a new horse is about 10 miles down the road. And instead of riding this horse another 10 miles and then putting it out of its misery, they want to shoot it now and then be left with no horse at all. And it's a really difficult situation. And nothing Paul Ryan has said so far really makes a lot of sense about what they're actually going to replace it with. If you have 6, 7, 8 plans, but you can't agree on one, you don't really have an actual plan that you're about ready to implement, and that's where the Republicans are. And I think that's why Donald Trump, I rarely agree with Donald Trump's tweets, but I think Donald Trump was exactly right in the theme of his tweet, which is that Republicans should be very careful about getting stuck with the blame for Obamacare when it's such a disaster, and taking ownership of it is or of health care, taking ownership of all these problems is a real political problem going into 2018, 2020, et cetera.
Yeah, I mean, he said basically he doesn't want them to try to repeal it too quickly, and he wants the Democrats to own the failure on this, but that doesn't get us a new horse, Jonah, to use your analogy.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't fix the situation that people are in, and I don't know how much patience they're going to have for that. Mike Pence said that he wants a deal, he wants some kind of plan, essentially, by February 20th, and Chuck Schumer's basically folding his arms and saying, forget it, we're going to resist everything.
No, that's right. I mean, the problem is that the repeal part doesn't fix anything. First of all, it doesn't do anything for the people who are on Medicare, which is most of the gains under Obamacare. And all it does is hasten the problems that already exist for people who bought on the individual market. Premiums are going to get higher. People with pre-existing conditions can drop out. There are all these things that are going to make it more expensive for the normal person who's already been given the shaft by Obamacare in Washington. The problem is that they're going to put the Republican logo on these problems.